Alright guys, welcome back to Persona 3 Reload. Last thing I meant Persona 3. It was just a social link part, if I remember correctly. I think we started the Strength Arcana and the Emperor Arcana, I want to say, but I'm a little... Yeah, that does add up. I think we also progressed a couple of the other ones, like the Magician and Chariot. You may notice that I tend to call the social links by their arcanas rather than like what their actual, names are. Like, and it's not because I forgot them. It's mainly just because that's just my habit. I don't know why I do that a lot. I do that with Persona 5, even though I've memorized who every arcana is essentially, and all that kind of stuff. But by the way, this part is going to be once again another social link part because. I'm going to keep explaining this as many times as necessary. Persona 3 is very much a social link game, and yes, by the way, I'm going to try to edit out as much Velvet Room stuff as possible, because once again, you have seen it before. I have decided to make that executive decision where I will edit out all my Velvet Room adventures, because most of the time it's me going in there trying to get personas of matching arcana to whatever social links I'm leveling at that time, or just filling up my persona slots to where all of them, at least all of them, have a major arcana of some sort. So rarely you'll see a persona of the like Fool Arcana or the Death Arcana, because those are social links that progress naturally through the story rather than through active initiation. But yeah, on here is actually where we're learning about the shopping program that pops up on Sundays. Now this is something that was in the original, and I believe it is in 4. And the thing is that technically there was a home shopping channel in Persona 5, but it wasn't Tanaka's shopping channel. It was a different one. But Tanaka does appear in Persona 5. I don't recall ever showing it off, but he has his own store called Tanaka's Shady Commodities or something like that. So yes, it is the same guy from that if you've played Persona 5. I don't recall if I ever showed off that store in the Persona 5 Let's Play, but yeah. And yes, by the way, that is the third time I've had to do something related to Chihiro in order to activate her social link, because the next time we talk to her, we are going to be able to actually initiate her social link. There are a couple of social links like that where you do have to go through a few flags. Yuko is one of them. Another one, I believe, technically you have to do a bit, is the Moon Arcana, where you have to pass through his quiz, but, honestly, you could just Google the answers and you'll know exactly what to say. That's the general rule of any social link at this point. And the other one is the Hanged Man Arcana, where you have to bring her Takoyaki and Mad Bull. I believe I think we start that Arcana today. I don't remember. Am I gonna pick a fucking dialogue prompt? Okay, there we go.
I know, right? I didn't do it on purpose. But then Mr. Akoda got all pissed off. He called me to the faculty office and told me I had to write a reflection essay. I had to listen to Mr. Akoda lecture me for the longest time. He was all like,
at this rate, you'll end up as a good-for-nothing adult. And you're not putting enough thought into your future.
That sounds about his voice, yeah.
way too early to worry about the future, isn't it? We're still just teenagers. Right? We should be allowed to enjoy ourselves now, while we still can. Honestly, I haven't really thought about my future at all. I'm working hard for the track team, so I think that's good enough for now. As for the future, well, I've got plenty of time to think about it later.
There's not really much to talk about with Persona right now. I mean, the only major thing that happened this year related to Persona was Persona 3 Reload. I mean, I mean, the Game Awards are close to happening at this time. At the time of this recording, I mean, it's about a month off, since it's almost November. But I don't know if they've released the voting ballots for that yet. I don't really vote in the Game Awards. I don't vote, period. But mainly because the Game Awards are usually rigged anyway. I mean, we've had Game Awards where the worst games are nominated for Game of the Year, yet they're winning all the freaking awards. 2020. What? I didn't say anything. But I have a feeling if Persona 3 Reload isn't nominated for anything, which I kind of doubt it will be, considering it's a remake, but it is a very heavy remake. Oh no, they put Final Fantasy VII Remake as a nominee for the Game Awards in 2020, didn't they? It didn't win anything because they wanted Last of Us Part 2 to win everything, I guess. Who won Best RPG in the Game Awards of 2020? I can't remember. Actually, I'm kind of curious now. Because I know Final Fantasy VII came out in 2020. Game Awards 2020 winners. I know the Game of the Year was... Oh no, Final Fantasy VII Remake won role-playing game. Okay, never mind. Well, technically, in all honesty, Final Fantasy VII Remake is more than just a graphical overhaul of Final Fantasy VII. It is straight up changing the story. Especially, that's basically that was just a huge thing that that happened. But I mean, I don't know if Persona 3 Reload's even going to be nominated for Game of the Year. Not Game of the Year. I doubt that one specifically, but you know, for Best RPG, I could see it happening. That or Atlus's other RPG that came out this year, Metaphor ReFantazio, mainly because that is a really good game. I've played a lot of it so far. It is really good. I won't get into detail about it, mainly because this isn't the Metaphor ReFantazio Let's Play, but it is a really good time. But that is a topic for another day. Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about these. Yeah, so every time we're about to have a full moon boss battle, about a week ahead, this motherfucker breaks into our room and tells us. And then he comes back after the full moon, like a week after the full moon battle, and says, "Oh yeah, by the way, good job, you did it."
Careful, a new hardship is coming. Yes, on that day, you'll face a great challenge. You need to be prepared, but your time is limited.
That was not a good sound. That was my chair.
I'll come see you again when it's
I
over.
barely moved.
Goodbye for now.
Yeah, but every week, every full moon, like right before a full moon, this motherfucker breaks in and just tells us that. It's like someone should get a restraining order on his ass. Yeah, so now we have, for the next couple of days, we have a few days off from school, so we can do whatever we want on those days. Again, those same rules apply, where you only really have one slot for daytime, and then one slot for nighttime. So the Tanaka's Mating Commodities work like this. Every Sunday, they will put in new items, and you can only, in their exclusive items, you can only get these items from here. But most of the time, they're, you know... They could be anything from gifts to items. You can use metal and occasional armor sets. However, there are a couple of items that you do need for Elizabeth's request, so make sure you're paying attention to that. Like, I think there's like one or two that are required for Elizabeth's request. But what you do is you watch the show, and you know, he'll tell you what the items are, and you can decide whether or not to buy them, assuming you have the money for it. And when you do buy them, about, I want to say like a week or two late, about a week or a few days into the week, it's going to arrive to your doorstep. I once again edited out Velvet Room stuff. It's going to arrive at the dorm, and the items are yours. That's really all there is to it. Oh yeah, that's the antique store, but we can't use that yet. We have to wait till the date it's said, which is July 18th. Luckily, doing Tanaka's amazing commodities, yada yada yada, does not pass time. And also, another thing that Reload fix is that, in the original, if you left the dorm to do something, but then tried to go back, you know, maybe because, like, you wanted to do Tanaka's amazing commodities, you lost, that chance. Because what would happen is that time would pass if you tried to go back inside. Because, especially if you tried to go to your room. Because the game assumed you wanted to do studying or sleep. Unfortunately, that's not what we were trying to do, so guess what? You would have effectively wasted a time slot in that case. So, but luckily, Reload fixes that to where you can walk around, go in and out of your room anytime you want. And I think what I was doing was I was getting a Hermit persona for Maya. One thing I do, this is the only social link that isn't voice acted for obvious reasons, but you know, it is interesting to try to translate what she's saying most of the time. It's not like, you know, impossible to translate. If you have been on the internet for longer than 2 days, you should know what she's saying for the most part. But at least she doesn't talk in brain rot or some shit. Like I don't think she's pulling out sigmas or anything like that. Talking about fucking Lunchly or whatever the fuck it's called. Ugh. I actually kind of want to talk about that situation a little bit because I don't know the full extent of that. You know, from what I've gathered, it's basically Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast making their own version of Lunchables that is supposedly better for you. And no, apparently no, it's not, because from what I can tell, what I've seen on the internet is that people are getting their packages of Lunchly and they're like molded and shit. And I really hope there's a lawsuit resulting from this. Honestly, all three of them kind of deserve it at this point. Because aren't all three of them facing a controversy of some sort right now? Like, I know Mr. Beast is sort of right now. Like, apparently there's a former Mr. Beast employee exposing him for all of his acts being like fraudulent or whatever, or like just him basically telling everyone that he's a horrible person to work with or whatever. And then there's KSI's going through it with Dan TDM, but I would say Dan TDM's fighting back, but really it's just KSI screaming in a mirror, because that's all it is right now. And then Logan Paul, he goes through a controversy every 2 weeks at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if he is. I'd be more surprised if he wasn't going through one at this point. And I am more than willing to make fun of him for that. And I do not care if I get sued. Mainly because, what are they going to take from me? I got nothing. And this is using this. I think I've used the shared computer last part, but I don't remember. But this is the shared computer. It's just, there's not much to it. You use the software and you gain a perk to that social stat, or there is a software that you can, or URL you can find later on that gives you an advantage in Tartarus, but I don't think we encounter it for a while. I think the next part actually is going to be the full moon boss battle, if I'm thinking right. Mainly because I'm looking at them, because clearly you can see the little moon icon on the calendar up there, which is the clear indicator that you know, what phase of the moon you're on. And if you so when it's the full moon, then that means that something's gonna happen, and you lose that entire day. By the way, you're not able to do any sort of social link related stuff or shop for weapons and stuff like that because it's a full moon battle. You can't do anything. So you know, for full moon, oh shit, for full moon stuff, make sure to prepare for like that if you need to, like the day before, like get weapons and stuff like that day before your full moon, because once again, going to the shops does not pass time. You know, the only way you should pass time are pretty obvious. You know, hanging out with social links, you know, getting your fortune read, studying, all that crap. You know, again, if you're about to do an activity that will pass time, the game sort of warns you every time. And I skip through the dialogue boxes every time, but you know, usually when it says like spend the night doing this, then like if it asks you to confirm it, generally you're passing time. And one detail I do like is whenever you do something in the dorm before the evening period, so you hung out with Maya during the day, you always come out, you don't come back from the doorway, you don't always come in through the lobby doorway, you always come out from upstairs, which is a detail I like. And I think actually what happened one time was I finished up in my first playthrough, I finished up either Yukari's or Fuka's social link, because I romanced them. And when you do that, it finishes up in their room. It was funny because I finished up the social link in there and I came down and Shinji was like, "Whoa, you were here this whole time? Where did you come from?" And I just laughed my ass off because I was just like, "Oh shit, he's on to us." Yeah, see, it says, should I spend my time on the computer? Meaning, yeah, you'll be passing time. And plus, it asks you to confirm things like 2 or 3 times before you actually do it. But yeah, you'll notice also I progressed through the Maya social link pretty fast, actually, considering you can only progress the Hermit Arcana on your days off. There's actually a pretty obvious reason as to why. Because Maya actually slowly but surely starts to reveal who she is, and also her portrait is pretty similar to someone else's. And also, it's a huge meme for Persona 3 specifically. I mean, but Maya's a social link I progressed through pretty fast, actually. Mainly because you have to do it anytime you're off from school, rather than because it's her day off as well, since she's I think she's already told us she's a teacher. Oh, clearly she's near us. There's no effect. It's like, I'm pretty sure we unlocked the Hermit Arcana last part, and we're already on rank 4. What the hell's that? Oh. What the hell is that? Was that... Oh, right, I forgot. That's Discord's new ping sound. I forgot about that. Yeah, for some reason, Discord changed their notification sound. I don't like it. Like, but what? Oh, yep. There's not even any shipping label on that. They just know. Like, how they know it's mine? Could be Yukari's. Could be Junpei's. He's stupid enough. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure also exams are coming up, meaning that Yukari specifically in this time will be pretty much non-existent in terms of going to Tartarus, because there's going to be a lot of times where she's going to be like, I'm not going to Tartarus tonight, I gotta study. Or Akihiko and Mitsuru won't go, or Mitsuru won't even let you go, because if she's not going to go, then no one's going. That's kind of the rule right now. But, I mean... Again, you don't really need to be going to Tartarus that often if you know what you're doing, and plus, if you're good about defeating enemies in your way at Tartarus, or even out of your way in Tartarus, you really shouldn't be underleveled in this game, because this is the easiest version of Persona 3. But that's the end of the part. So the next time we meet in Persona 3 Reload, we're gonna continue on with Social Links, and I think we're actually gonna be facing the Full Moon boss battle. Next part, but I'm gonna put a big asterisk on that one. So see you guys next time, and take care.